I chose this book, Building School Partnerships, Collaboration for Student Success by Mavis Sanders, for my book review. I chose this book mainly because I was looking for a resource that I would be able to use as an administrator to incorporate school community partnerships, successful school community partnerships into my school. And this book far exceeded my expectations with that. One part I'll show you real quickly before I get into the actual specifics. In the very back, she gives a ton of activities and resources that can be used in implementing this program. A workshop agenda on how to make this work. She even gives letters that you can send home to parents and out to community members to help this process go a whole lot smoother. So now we're going to take a look at some of the ideas that she has within the book. So to get into the specifics a little bit more of this book and what she has to offer in it, she starts out the book by giving rationales for involving community in schools, and she lists 4 reasons that she thinks all schools should use to involve their community, or for why they should involve their community. If you have the effective school functioning, that definitely makes your school run a whole lot smoother when all stakeholders are on the same page. And she lists the effective school functioning as that, as one of those reasons. Economic competitiveness. Anytime that you can gain a leg up on your competitors, then that's definitely a good thing. And if you need some resources and a community organization's able to provide those resources, if you have the partnership with them, they're going to be more likely to go with you than they would another school who they don't have a partnership with. So that can actually give you an economic advantage. Anytime collaboration between schools and communities take place, obviously the students are going to benefit. So that would be a definite reason to involve the community within the schools. And then the last reason she gives for rationales for community involvement is the community health and development aspect. And I think that that's definitely an important factor, because as students graduate, community members hope they'll be able to hire those students. They'll be able to keep them within the community. That will help the community to grow, be better economically for the community, and better for the generations from the school as they transition into the community. And so it makes that partnership even stronger. And I liked how she started out with these rationales. I definitely think that some people need to know the reasons to involve the community, because some people think, oh, this is my school, I can run it the way I want to, I don't need help. But this definitely gives reasons why help is beneficial, and how involving the community can help to not only in one area of student academic achievement, but in several areas of the entire school and the community. She goes on to list obstacles to community partnerships, but the one thing that I liked about how she approached this topic, she didn't just list the obstacles and leave it at that, but she listed the obstacles and then she gave real life examples on how to fix those obstacles, or how to overcome those. And so I thought that was a good way to approach that. Fear of public scrutiny was one that she identified, and from Cushing and Cole, and she said that with that, if educators often don't acknowledge, as I was talking about earlier, that they want or need help, because it seems like a weakness, and if they ask the community for help, they fear that they're going to be scrutinized because of that. And that's so not the case. There's so many community members and community organizations who want to help out, and they just don't know how to go about contacting the school for that. Staff burnout was another obstacle that she mentioned. And if you have a staff who is burned out, they're not going to be open to collaborating. And so if you don't have that open collaboration with the staff members, then it's definitely not going to be successful. As I mentioned, a lot of educators are territorial. They don't want people coming in telling them what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, and that's not what community partnerships are all about. Community partnerships are definitely all about people working together to benefit the school, benefit the community, and most of all to benefit the students within that school and community. And I think that as educators, we need to look past their coming in on my territory and open up that relationship and that partnership so that things can grow. Insufficient participation and insufficient time, trouble locating community resources, all go hand in hand in that especially if it's a large community, there could be an obstacle of everybody trying to get the same community organizations or groups to come into their school. So that's going to that could lead to insufficient participation. Businesses are very busy, so to have those members come into the school and to volunteer or to help in some ways can also be an obstacle. Definitely the inadequate leadership. I loved how she hit on this one. If you don't have adequate leadership, then the partnership with the community definitely isn't going to be successful. So that's a big part of it. These are just the top 5 common community partnerships that she lists, and she lists these a couple of times. But she, in this book, she lists several various community partnerships. And she not only lists them, but she tells what they can do for your school and how they can help you to be more successful. And so I thought that was a good idea to include all of that information and not just say, here are some places that you might want to contact. She actually goes more in depth with it. This was the biggest part of the book, the components of successful community partnerships. And the way that Sanders does this is she devotes a whole chapter just to focusing on these 5 components: high-functioning schools, student-centered environment, an effective partnership team, principal leadership, and external support. But then she takes that a step further. She looks at 2 case studies and lots of examples of schools who are actually who have successfully implemented community partnerships, and shows how they use each of one of these and how they are a part of the school and make it successful. So I thought that was a great idea. So I would definitely recommend this book to any educator who's interested in partnering with the community. Lots of resources in here to help with that. If you haven't established a partnership yet, it walks you from step 1 to the end to get through that. So that's great for that idea. But if you have started and it's not quite what you had expected, this book can get you back on track with that. Offers lots of ideas. And then even if you have established a school community partnership, you're being successful in that, this book even works for you because it offers ideas on maybe partnerships that you hadn't thought of that could make you even more successful and to strengthen that partnership. So that's a good idea for that. This book I bought on Amazon.com, but it can obviously be bought at many other bookstores. It was about $25 whenever I bought it, and it's definitely going to remain a part of my professional library from here on out. I really enjoyed it, and I hope that if you read it, you find it just as helpful as I did.